So we are going to start.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah.
Hi guys, good evening. Okay. So today we are going to do something regarding. Today we are going to learn about real-time lighting designs. Okay, just a second. I'll just share you this. Today we'll discuss something about the real-time illumination designs. So how generally see in some of my previous session also I've told people how we do lighting designs as per client's perception, okay, and as per client's design based on this thing. But before that, I just want to give a small brief description of how what is a lighting design. Why do we do lighting designs? Okay, so let me just go run through a small presentation. Then I can we can directly sit on a dialects file, so that now I'm going to tell how we illuminate a place. What are the parameters we consider during the illumination of a place? Okay, so coming to lighting basics. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, what is light? Light is nothing but it's light. We have many different sources of light. The one major source of light, which is universal, is the sunlight. Okay, so sunlight is the major source of light, where through which we get the entire Earth, entire planets, everything get illuminated. Okay, so what is a luminous flux? Coming to a luminous flux is nothing but the total quantity of light emitted by a light source per second is called luminous flux. Okay, so that is but for example, we have generally normal tube lights at home, normal down lights at home. Okay, we see various kind of different light sources like a small candle and all. So what the light amount of light coming out of that source means energy is getting consumed. The amount of energy coming out of that source per second, illumination is called as a luminous flux. Okay. Next, coming to these are the basic luminous flux examples. What I'm showing you is there's a basic headlamp of a bicycle. Okay, incandescent light which is 75 watts, and you find here what 30 lm and 99 lm. Lm is nothing but lumens. Okay, luminous flux is measured in lumens. Okay, in some other cases, it's measured even foot candles also. Okay, now here we are measuring all the luminous flux in lumens. So a bicycle headlamp will have around 3 watts. Okay, which will having around 30 lumens. Okay, this is a very rough estimate what I'm giving you. Next, any incandescent lamp will have around 75 watts. It gives around 900 lumens. Okay. Next, we have compact fluorescent lamps. Okay, which we have the CFL lamps. CFL lamps are nothing but the basic CFL lamps start at 18 watts. Okay, this is also the same, giving out a lumen output of 900 lumens. Okay, coming to the fluorescent lamps are nothing but the tube lights. Whatever general tube light we have at home now, apart from LED tube lights. Okay, those are called fluorescent tube lights. That gives a lumen output of basic 2450 lumens. Next, coming to a high pressure sodium vapor lamp. Nowadays, we are seeing every street light is LED. Okay, before that, we used to find yellow color lamps at the street lights. Okay, those are called as sodium vapor lamps. Okay, so there are two kinds of sodium vapor lamps. One is high pressure sodium vapor lamps and low pressure sodium vapor lamps. Okay, high pressure sodium vapor lamps will have around these are used at a very low heights. Okay, whereas low pressure sodium vapor lamps are used at more heights, because more heights cannot handle more pressure. They can handle only less pressure. Okay, so the high pressure sodium vapor lamp starting wattage is 100 watts, so which will have around 10,500 lumens. Next, coming to low pressure sodium vapor lamp, it's around 131 watts, which will be having around 26,000 lumens. Okay. Next, coming to a high pressure metal halide. Metal halide, these fixtures are now we are not seeing them many. Coming to as the LED market has overtaken all this kind of different sources of light. Okay, metal halides are nothing but these are high power light sources. Okay, which are mostly used in very big warehouses and godowns. Okay, these we find only in warehouses and godowns, and very high ceiling areas, where the ceiling area is very high, around 15 meters, 20 meters, 25 meters of height. We use this kind of high metal halides. Okay, generally now also in if we go to LB Stadium, okay, LB Stadium we find these kind of lamps are used to lit up the cricket stadiums. Okay, cricket stadiums are lit up by high metal halides, which each lamp is around starting wattage is around from 400 watts, which will give you 37,000 lumens. It's a very high wattage. Okay, where that will be help you to flood a very large area at one time. Next, coming to, let's talk about the distribution of light. Okay, in a small space. Now we come across here two terms. One is illuminance and one is luminance. Okay, so let's talk about first the illuminance. Okay, illuminance is nothing but light coming out from a source is called luminance. Okay, let me make it clear for you. Light coming out from a source is called illuminance. Okay, the light which comes and strikes the surface, okay, and reflects back is called luminance. Okay, now what we are seeing, this is luminance. It is striking the surface and coming out is called the luminance. And when light coming down, okay, and striking, light coming out of a source is called illuminance. Okay, yeah. Next, coming to how do we calculate illuminance? Illuminance is nothing but we are calculating the lux. For example, I told you all, the unit for measuring light is called lux. Okay, so as per the lighting terms, we say that a room requires around 100 lux. Okay, a table requires around 300 lux. Okay, a corridor requires around 50 lux. So these are what is lux? Lux is nothing but it is how you measure light. Okay, now here we are finding how to calculate the illuminance. Means how to get the unit, or how do we get that lux factor. Okay, it's nothing but every light source, okay, every light source will have certain amounts of lumens. Okay, so as we discussed previously also, a 3-watt bicycle headlamp will have 30 lumens. That's nothing but the 3-watt bicycle headlamp is illuminating 30 lumens output. Okay, so that is nothing but E. E is nothing but the symbol, the surface, the lighting level. Okay, that is into lumens. Lumens is nothing but the amount of energy coming out of the light source into the design factor. Design factor is nothing but the kind of surface we are using. Okay, surface has some design factors. Next, by area. Okay, for example, the area is around we say 4 by 4. Okay, means 4 feet width and 4 feet of length. Okay, area is nothing but area is length into breadth. Okay, 4 into 4 is 16 square foot. Okay, so that's why. So lumens into design factor by area will give you the lux. Okay, it is measured in lux. So this is the illuminating part. This is the area what we calculate. This is the lumens we come across. Okay, and the surface is in a different color. That is the design factor what we consider. Okay. Next, we go upon the CRI. CRI or the color rendering index. So basically, I just want to tell you what is CRI. CRI is nothing but it's a quantitative assessment. Okay, quantitative assessment of the color rendering properties called as the color rendering index. Okay, so this is completely what technically we are talking to you. Okay, let's make it simple. CRI is nothing but if an object. Okay, I'm having a for example, I'll just show you all. I'm just having a object with me. Okay, now the color of this object is, in front we have violet color and behind we have white color. Okay, but the naturality looking of this object. Okay, now I'm just switching off one of my light source. Okay, now the naturality of the object will differ. Okay, now I just switched off the light source. Okay, this object, same object, but it's looking dull. Okay, when I just switch on the light, it is looking bright. It's nothing but represents the naturality of an object. The more is the CRI, the more natural the object looks. Okay, so that's the reason, the maximum CRI means the naturality, good naturality is fine only from the sunlight. Okay, so whatever you want to check out any object looking beautiful or not, go put it in the sunlight, you get a very the clear image of the object. Okay, so let's read up on this. CRI is nothing but the color rendering relates the way the object appears under a given light source. Okay, so for example, you're looking the object and you're looking this object at a tube light. Okay, it looks at one color. It means the naturality looks at differently. When you take it outside in the sunlight, the naturality will represent differently. When you take it at a low light level, the naturality of the object will differ separately. Okay, that is nothing but it's called as the CRI. Right. Next, coming to the color temperature. Okay, we know what is boil temperature, we know what is weather temperature and all. What is color temperature? Color temperature is nothing but the color of the light. Okay, we find different light colors, okay, coming up. Okay, recently we got the Durgam Cheru flyover also coming up. Okay, we find that is lit up in all different colors. Okay, it's looking very beautiful all around. Okay, in the same way, in coming to our even our regular house also, we have some decorative lights in yellow color. Our tube lights are in white color. Okay, some objects are something is in red color. Some bulbs in red color, some bulbs in blue color. So this is nothing but each light source has its own color temperature, means the color. This that is called as the color temperature, right? So the color temperature basically starts from 2000 degrees Kelvin to 10,000 degrees Kelvin. Okay. So as we go on from red color to blue color, the color variations happen. Okay. Now here what I'm showing is 2000 degrees Kelvin, 6500 degrees Kelvin for this is the common color temperatures we use in our day-to-day life. Okay. Where 2700 is nothing but the yellow color light. Okay. Where 6500 is the white color, what all our tube lights will have in our houses. Okay. And next in between 4000 Kelvin is nothing but the daylight color. Okay. When we go out, we look into the sunlight, the color temperature what the sunlight gives is called 4000 Kelvin. It is the daylight color. Okay. Next, we move upon the some components of lamps and all. Okay. So basically, we have different components of a lamp. For example, we take the normal tube light. Okay. We have a lamp, a holder, a ballast, a lower, accessories and fixtures of fixtures. Okay. So next, I'll just go. This is a very common concept. Okay. For example, we take the tube light. Okay. The tube light will have a holder which will hold the tube light. Okay. Every tube light, every current source, we need to have some drive current. Okay. There will be a small kind of a junction box behind the tube light that is called as the ballast or the choke. Okay. That is called as the ballast choke, or nowadays we call it as the driver also. Okay. So that drives the current from the main supply goes into the dry choke. Then the supply current will pass through the holder, and that lit up the bulb or the lamp. Okay. Yeah, so these are the different kinds of bulbs and lamps and all. The first one is the GLS bulb. Okay. Second is the tube light. Third we have the CFL bulbs. Okay. The CFLs we have both retrofit and not. What is retrofit? Retrofit is nothing but which can be easily replaceable. For example, we are putting a normal bulb. Okay. If the bulb uses off, we are removing it up and putting a new bulb. Okay. That process of removing the bulb and putting it called as a retrofit models. Okay. Next, we have same the sodium vapor lamps. These lamps are used, as I told you previously also, we used to find them in different places like street lights. We used to have yellow color street lights. Those are called as the sodium vapor street lights. Next, the mercury and the metal halide lamps. These are, I said you, we are using big warehouses, and to lit up the cricket stadiums, big stadium lighting, we are using the metal halide lamps. Now the current trend market is all LED lamps. Wherever we go, we find LED lamps all the way, right? Nice. Okay. So this is something I just wanted to brief you all about the discussion of how the lighting, what is the basics of lighting and all. Next, using these kind of lights. Okay. Now today I'll show you how we illuminate a place using completely using some LED light fixtures. Okay. On the screen. Right. Let me just come upon. Right. So this is a software called Dialux. Okay. So now you can see that. So this is Dialux Evo. What is the latest version of calculating the lighting factor at a place? Okay, we use a lighting software called Dialux, which Dialux help us to calculate the exact amount of light required for a place. Okay, each place, each structure, okay, or each area requires certain amount of lux levels. Okay, if that lux levels exceeds or decrease that area, okay, we call deficit or excess. Okay, means blowing out. If the light source for a given area, if the light source is more, then we say the area is blown out. Okay, If, for example, if the light source, what we are given, light levels are less than the required standards, we call it the deficit area. Okay. So now today I'll show you a small space. Okay. Generally we can insert then AutoCAD files into the dialects also. But today I'll show you all without any AutoCAD file also we can design a space using dialects. Right. Let me start upon. Okay, now we are just going for a room planning. Okay. So in the room plan, we have two options here. We can create an empty rectangular room as well as we can draw a different shape of a room. Okay, if the room is in different kind of a shape, we can even draw it. Okay, now we take an empty rectangular room. Okay, so this is an office space, what I'm considering. Here we have different options. So the kind of area we are designing, we can select here by default. Now, these are the flexibilities what dialects give us. Okay. Right now we can go for, I'm going for a regular office space. Okay, dialects residency default office. Okay, now here I'm giving the length of the office. The length of the office, as by default, we can take it as 18 feet. Okay, the width of the office is around 12 feet. The height of the ceiling, okay, height of the ceiling from the floor level is 9 feet. Okay, even we need to give the thickness of the walls. So I'm taking the thickness of the walls is 6.5. Okay, so this is a basic room what I'm currently creating. As soon as I say okay, direct itself automatically will create a room for itself. Okay. So as you have seen, yeah. So as you see, we have already got a room which is 18 feet width. Okay, if you want, we can do a measurement also. We will just cross check where dialect is given as a right one or not. Okay. This is an outer wall. We have 19.3. Okay. Let's do the inner wall. Because the design what we do is inner to inner. Okay, from here to here. This is exactly 18 feet width. Okay. And next we have 12 feet. Okay. 12 feet is the room length. Okay. So here we are finding only a 2D plane. Once we click on this, we get the 3D plane also. Okay. Exactly, it is 9 feet, right? So, right. So here now we will design. So basically, an office room, okay, considers of some basic furniture. Okay, we need to even consider them also. Whenever we are doing a design, we need to consider some basic furniture levels so that each and every object in the room will absorb some light levels. Okay, because a plain room, a plain room, we don't keep a plain rooms, right? Putting a light around. So we have different objects. Okay, now we'll just create some of the objects here. Next, for example, we consider this is the entrance of the room. So then we just put up a door here. So here we have different options coming up. Okay, so I'm just drawing let me put on the windows. I'm putting a 4.8 feet wide window. Next, one more window, we are doing it. Okay. Now let's check up if these windows have come right or not. This is the room. Now if you can see, these windows are coming good, right? Yeah. So we have two windows coming in. Okay. Now apart from windows, we have even different kinds of chairs and tables into the room. Let us first take up the door for the room. Here I'm not only telling you all how to do a lighting design, as well as you can do different kind of 3D designs also in Dialux. Okay, which will be helpful, more helpful. I'm drawing the door. Okay, let's check it out. How did our door come well or not? Yeah. Okay. This is our door into the office space. Okay. Basically, we have one more window also. Right. Let's go to the windows. We'll put some objects into this room. We have the object files here. See, these are the different options. This is the stepwise procedure what Dialux tells us by default to be done while we are doing a design. So this is the first step, second step, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. So these are the following steps we follow in Dialux whenever we are doing it. Okay. So here we have a predefined objects coming up in Dialux. Okay. So once we click on this, these are the object files.
Hi, hello all. I think there's a disconnect from Raghuveer's side. Let me check. He'll just come back. Yes, he's back. Raghuveer, you unmute.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, fine.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'll be raising this drawn out. I'll share my screen. Right. So now I'm just considering the kind of table we require. Okay, we're at this table stage. We have different table options also. So I'm just considering the 180 by 60. This is the size of the table. What is represented here? Click on apply and just minimize this. So now here it will give you different kind of arrangements. Okay, how do you want to arrange the table? We can arrange tables in rectangular, polygon arrangement, circular arrangement, line arrangement. We can place only one single individual object. Okay, or we can even draw our own table also. Okay, that all options Dialux will create. Okay, now we are placing a individual object. Okay, now I got my table done. Now I want my table. I just want to turn my table. Just right click here. When you just right click, you get options like move, rotate, scale. Now I just want to rotate it. Okay. Now I'm just rotating the table. Okay. So even that now we can even check it here. Exactly our rotation is 90 degrees or not. Okay. Okay. Now my rotation is exactly 90 degrees. We can even cross check in a 3D also. These are for every 5 minutes, Dialux will ask you to save your project. Okay, because we do a lot of hard work in creating these images and our lighting designs. Our effort should not be wasted. So there is a by default program into the dialects that it will ask you for every 5 minutes to save your project. Okay. Now I will just save my project into one of the files. Now let me just go. Okay, I'm just now dialects will by default it'll ask you for every 5 minutes, it'll ask you to save, and your project will be saving at the same place itself. Okay, now then see, it will even show you the message that your project has been saved here. Okay, right. Now just go into the room. Now just look at here. We have our table placed correctly. Okay. Now not a table requires a chair. Again we'll go into the catalog. We have different kinds of chair options also. Okay. So this is a message chair. Okay, now I want to duplicate this chair. Okay, I want 4 more chairs into this room. Just you can just right click on it, just copy it. Again, do a right click and paste it. Okay, you get 1 more chair. Okay, again you can do the same. Again, just copy and just paste. Okay, you get 1 more chair. 1 more chair. But these chairs are facing this way. Okay, if you want, you can check it in 3D pad also. Okay, just rotate the chairs. You can select both the chairs at a time. Just press shift button. Okay, and just catch both the chairs at a time. Okay, just do a right click and rotate it. Okay, this is the basic arrangement. Okay, whenever you're doing any wrong step, dialects will obviously give a red line or a red indication, which means that dialects cannot take that command. Okay, dialect is not taking that command. Whenever a green symbol comes up, that means you're on a right thing. Whenever you're doing. Okay. So after that, now we require. I just put some other accessories also, just to make this more realistic. Okay, we can have a small technical board. Okay. This is a small technical board. You can even arrange it.
Well, I think Raghuveer will come back. So, how are you, Shrikant?
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
Good to see you. So,
Yes.
currently you're working on dialects. I think
Yes, sir.
last time we
Yes.
spoke on that, right?
Yes, actually, I give totally dialects projects, sir, lightning projects.
Oh, super. So, I mean, what kind of project it is? Is it a villa, or is it a commercial complex, or is it
No,
a
sir.
power plant?
It's only a trunky project, sir.
I mean, is it a power plant or is it something like an industry?
Industry, sir, like a sugar factory, cement
Okay,
factory. That.
okay. So I think you can ask questions to Raghuveer.
Yes. When this session is completed, then I will ask her.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Dialex is a free software you can download and
Yes,
other,
sir. Yes.
yeah, for other people's information. Dialex is a free software you can download and you can experiment. And what I've just now got to know that it is just like a 3D things also you can do, not always for lighting design, for regular building to see, you want to represent to somebody. In 3D, you can build the building and you can show to somebody also.
Yes,
So
sir.
that kind of flexibility also.
Actually, here, sir, use only a 4.13 dialects, 4.13, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
But what is the difference if you go for any Dialux Evo or Dialux?
Sir, not too much difference. It's only 4.13 used for industrial, means big project, trunky
Okay,
projects.
okay.
And if I use for building commercials. Yes, sir.
One second. Yeah, Raghuveer, you can unmute.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah. Am I audible now? Yeah.
Can you speak something?
Yeah, I got it. Is my screen visible now?
Yeah, screen is visible. It's printer,
Screen is
printer T. Yeah.
visible. So we were creating the room. We were creating the room. Uh, yeah, this is an office now. We are doing it. Check it out. Okay. Now see, now office space and there are no colors for the room. Okay. Now let's add some colors and make it realistic. Okay. Now we are just looking into a realistic part. We Direct even gives us the kind of color options. We can create colors. We can make textures out of it. And by default also Dialect will have some by default materials also. Okay. Like in the catalog we have materials as well as color catalog. See, for example, materials, we just click on this. See, these are the different kinds of door options we have. So we have both indoor as well as outdoor. When coming to the indoor, we have ceiling, windows, furniture, doors, and walls. Let's go to doors. We just create the door options here. Okay, I'm just taking this door, and here we have apply material. Just click on the apply material, and you get it. So here is your door. Okay. Next, we just go into the inner part. Let's say apply material. Okay, we get the door option. Next, we go again to the catalog. We have wall floor. Okay, we'll just go to the flooring part. Generally, an office floor will be plain white ceilings and all. We can use any of the kind of flooring. Generally, we use bright colors because bright colors here. I just told you a design factor. Okay, here we have reflection factors here for every color. We find the material type is painted and the reflection factor is 34%. This reflection factor is 34% and the reflective factor is 15%. Means this material can reflect about 15% of light. Okay, and the material size also is mentioned here, 1.64 feet and 1.64 feet width also. Okay, so by this we can even select it and we can create the material, okay, which is having more reflection factor and less reflective coating onto it. So this is having the more reflection factor and reflection coating into it. This is the primary thing we consider. Okay, let's paint it. Okay. Based on the reflection factors also, the lux levels vary in different areas and different rooms also. Okay, we as designers, whenever we talk to the client, whenever we talk to the architects or the interior designers, okay, we take the kind of reflection factors that affects the lighting levels of the room. So always we consider a 10% variation to the real time environment when we design something. Okay, when we design an area. Okay, then coming to these walls also all not painted. So let's consider the wall colors. Okay, now I'll just take pretty white colors into this thing. Okay, so this is a cream color, which is having complete reflection factor with a reflective coating into it. Okay. These all can be done only in the 3D part. Okay, what I am showing you is in the 3D part. In the 2D diagram, we find only this kind of environment. Once we go into the 3D, we can do all this kind of coloring, texturing, and all. Okay. So next, just put on a table texture also, because generally our tables are all in wood kind of texture. So just give that texture to the system. So we have even wood textures also. Okay. So this is kind of the textures here. Different wood textures. Okay, let me just take you. This also what I'm taking is high reflection factors, because the light should reflect more from a surface, which will give you more lux levels with a minimalistic light. Okay. So this is the tabletop. Okay. Now our room is almost ready. Now the lacking factor into this, I have not even inserted a single luminaire into the room. Okay, because once my luminaires are done, then my lighting design is almost done. Next, we go to the luminous part. Now the construction part of the entire room is completed. Okay. Now let's go into the luminous part. Here we have two, construction as well as luminous. Now we enter into the luminous part. So in the luminous part, we have even different levels of stages of luminous. Okay. The first one is we have some default luminous also, the default IES files, okay, which are standard files which represents the light fixtures. Okay, so here we have an entire data. The data also of this luminaire is representing here. Okay, this is I'll just take a luminaire what we are using in this room. Okay, generally for an office space, we use a pendant on the table. Okay, and we take 4 lights or two 2x2 lights. Okay, now let me just take some lights into this room. So these are some default luminaires that are available in the Dialux. Okay, we can even import from different catalogs. Okay, so Loom Search is one of the website from which we can get different kind of luminaires. Okay. Now let me just take. So here now I'm taking a luminous. Here it shows some technical data also. This is a recessed downlight. Eco is the model number. Okay, 260 is the model number again. 260 LED is the model. Next, it is a 31 watt fixture with a CRI of having. We have even talked previously that CRI is nothing but the color rendering index, which is greater than 90. Okay, which is having a color temperature of 4000 Kelvin, and the fixture color is white color. Okay, here this represents the pole diagram. Okay, this is nothing but the polar diagram of this. This is the kind of luminous, how the light level spreads. Okay, we can go more in detail. Here to show you the complete description of the picture. Regent is the company. Regent is the company which is giving us this IES file. Okay, which is having a 34 watts The power is 31 watts. Luminous flux 4000 lumens. Okay. Standard power of 0.4 watts. So entire description of the fixture also we get it completely, whatever we are using it. Okay. So this is the, now here we get the power. Okay. But I have not placed any luminous till now. Now let me take an arrangement. We can ask Dialects by itself to even arrange the fixtures for us. Okay. Now I just take a rectangular arrangement here. Okay. And just spread across the room. So for this entire room, 30 watt fixtures, okay, we Direct itself has given only 2 luminaires, okay, because there are some predefined calculus, because it's already having a target of 28 foot candles, okay, and the current foot candle level also will show you it is 36 foot candles, okay. So we can change this. For example, if I require only 36 foot candles is not, we cannot change this. Our target we can increase. If my target is around 50 foot candles, then I just make it into 50. Then what will be the number of fixtures have increased. Okay. If I reduce the foot candles basic level of the foot candles to 20, then we get only 2. That's it. Okay. Because each fixture is around 31 watts. That the distribution of light into the room is shown in this way. Okay. So this requires only two light fixtures now. Okay. Now let us see into the 3D diagram. Here we can see the position. The mountain type is recessed. Okay. And the suspension height is 0.5 feet. The light at the center it is 6.5 feet at the height. The mounting height is 9.4. Now let's look into the 3D part, how it looks exactly. Okay. Now these are 2 light fixtures. So now these are the 2 light fixtures. Okay. So we can see both the lights here. Okay, let me just adjust them a bit down here. We can even adjust the light center. Okay, now it is 6.5 feet. I'll just take it to 6.4. Okay. So now here is the visible light fixtures. Okay. This is how we do it. So this is the visible light fixtures. Okay. Now you want to see whether the lighting is what lighting we are getting is exactly spreading as the IS file or not. We can even check out this also. Okay. Again, I'll just say at a stage we have done this design for 15 minutes. Clicking this, we can adjust the lighting levels. Okay. Now just click on this. Click on light fixture. Now this is showing you the throw of the light. Okay. This is how the light is coming down. I hope this everything is clear with you. Okay. So this is how the light fixture light is coming down from the fixture. Okay. So this is how we can see. So this is almost covering the entire room. The light is covering the entire room. Okay. But now this is all, sir.
Raghuveer, can you turn off the light now? Once in the same room, just turn off and turn on. I mean, to see the difference.
You are turning off the light. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the dialects is not even simulated now, sir. Turning off is nothing but now we are just checking out our pole diagram is exactly or not. Because once the fixture what we have selected is right or not, the light is spreading entire room. Not just cross checking this diagram. That's it. Now the design is not completed. Once the design is completed, we'll find the illumination room. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just switching off this thing. Now I've even placed my fixtures. My design is almost ready for this book. Let's just simulate the entire project. Okay, we need to just simulate the entire project. Now we simulate it here. So we start the calculation. The dialect itself will calculate what is the lux levels coming into the room after putting all the required factors. Okay, now I've just done this.
One more thing, Raghuveer, this whole lighting we do only for, I think it seems to be consideration of a night time. But sometimes, as we have these all windows, we could get some lighting from outside to the inside. So do we take any calculation consideration that
Yes, sir.
time?
Yeah, yes. I'll even show you that now only. Yeah,
Okay.
that also I'll just take it up. Yeah. Now I think the entire scene of the room is changed. Okay, you're seeing it now. The entire scene of the room is changed. Okay, by default, the results will come here. Now here you're seeing candles. Okay, this foot candles also can be changed into lux levels. Okay, in the settings. I'll even show you how to change them in the settings. Okay, now we just go into the room. How our room looks now. We just want to have a look at our room. Just look at the room. How it was before, how it is now. I just go only into the room. Okay, this is the only room. Okay, this is how when we come to it, we are switching on the lights. This is the entire view of the room. Okay, I hope everyone is understanding, right? So this is the view of the room. How beautiful we look at it. Okay, this is the entire design is done. No, as the previous sir has asked me, we have different daylight factors also. Okay, this is the sky texture. We can even find the daylight effect. Generally, lighting is calculated only in the dark spaces, only when it is darker. So daylight factors, these are all coming to a maintenance thing. That's why whenever we are designing, our designs will all, I'll just show you the general settings part. Here we go into the file, we have settings. Before starting the design, okay, these all have to be done before we start the design. I've gone into general settings. Here, we need to as per our standards. So the display is in United. Okay. So here it is in imperial system. Okay, I take it in metric system also. The photometric units also will take it in European system. The European system we call it as lux. Okay, the imperial system it comes in foot candles. I told you. Okay, we got an FC now. European system are taken in metric system. In metric system, we get everything in meters. Okay, where in imperial system, we get everything in foots, everything in feet. Okay, fine. Now let's calculate the same. So here I just show you the maintenance factor. What are we consider here? These options are all present here itself. Once we can just close the settings, then I can. Okay. Before we consider the room, go to the construction part again. Here, we are giving the generally we maintain 0.10, 0.8 is the maintenance factor. Okay. For indoor condition, we maintain 0.8 is the maintenance factor, and for outdoor, maintain 0.6 is the maintenance factor. Okay. So here we can see different adaptive factors. This is the light visualization, and here we can hide the textures. Now I have hidden these textures. With hiding the textures, now here you can find the lighting level will be different here. Now once I even put on this thing, the lighting level is different. Okay, this is how the room was without the light. I'm switching off the light now. When you switch on the light, this is the effect what you are saying. Okay.
Once you switch on that the lighting daylight condition,
Yeah, daylight. No, we cannot consider the daylight in dialects, sir. Daylight cannot be considered in dialects
Okay.
because whatever considerations we are taking are all in dark conditions.
Dark condition. Okay.
Because light itself is the only source of light what dialects takes into it. Because dialects can't understand what sun is taking into it.
But then
So,
how do you actually, I mean, like being a consultant, so
yes,
I mean, definitely when a client asks, like, if
yeah.
I am the client, then if I ask, then how do you actually make them understand?
So basically, what we do is dialects. We are illuminating a surface, illuminating an area, okay, by considering all the windows and doors, right? So dialects is software only be designed for dark conditions. When there is something any dark areas, daylight is separate other factor which is considered physically. When we do physical measurements on site, those conditions are considered. For example, if I'm designing a space, I've done Dell offices. Okay,
Okay.
Dell is an office space where they have asked us to design. So they we consider is in dark conditions only because when there is a daylight coming into it, they don't switch on the lights by default. They
Okay.
don't switch on the lights and they don't take this lighting into consideration. uh, yeah,
But light may come from one side, right? But not the entire office.
not the entire
So,
space. Yeah, so the other space requires lighting, so that is all human conditions, what we are looking into.
okay.
So compared to software conditions will accept only the artificial source of light, not the
Okay.
natural source of light. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we are calculating only the artificial source of light basically, because natural source of light, it depends on the kind of, for example, some people, sir, even when there is daylight also, they switch on light in their home and sit down. So it
Okay.
is their perception completely. Where some people don't switch on lights if there is sunlight coming into it. Only they switch on lights when there is only dark space in their room.
Okay.
So that is a complete human perception where these can only done it at only personal level, not as far as the software level. Basically, what we interact with clients. Yeah. But as we asked previously, sir, switching off light, oning of light. This is when you switch off the light. This is the case. When you switch on the light, this is what the room looks like, basically. Okay. Here simply we are just creating. Here, this is nothing but this creates the kind of sky texture. The kind of we are putting it on a surface. When you just move out of the have the view, we have a texture coming up. That's what when you ask me about the daylight and all, I was thinking about the texture of the room. That's it. Yeah. Next, these are all basic room designation. Here this is room one. We get the designation of the room.
Okay.
Here we can maintain the white balance also. Now I can change the color temperature of the room. Now I just change the color temperature of the room.
Oh, the
Yeah.
luminary color temperature you have changed.
Color temperature have changed because when we are designing the luminary color temperature is 4000 Kelvin. Okay, but
Okay.
suddenly, sir, as you asked me to switch off the light and switch on the light, I even wanted to show you I can switch off the light now. Okay, when I switch on the light, suddenly you asked me to change the color of the light. Okay, I cannot again go back and take the entire consider new luminaire and again put into it. Instead, I can directly change the color of the luminaire to 5000 Kelvin. It is now 5000 Kelvin. Okay, now here we can do it manually. I just go down. Okay, now this is we are getting the color is changed. I just move up. Oh, there's a difference change in the color completely.
Good, Raghuveer. I think can we move to question and answers?
Yeah, sure, sir. We can go into it. So, as far as now, this is the thing. There's a small this thing, sir. How we are just doing everything in dialects, but this same thing we cannot present it to the client. So, how to present to the client? I just want to take a 5 minutes thing into this. If you can give me 5 minutes. Sir. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I just take just see once we are done with the design. Now we want to give the presentation to the client directly. So now we just export it. We can export the same in AutoCAD or image format also. Okay. So here we can ask as a new file. Okay, this will come into a new AutoCAD file. Or if you want to export it in the form of an image also, you can save the view. This is the view, and you can send it also. Okay, so this is the kind of presentation, right? We need to create a presentation out of this form. So I'll just show you one of the presentations where how we represent this to the.
But in AutoCAD, does it come in 3D or 2D?
2D AutoCAD.
2D. That
It
means
will come in a 2D AutoCAD.
top view.
Yeah, yeah.
Top view.
Complete top view with light fixtures, what tables, chairs. I'll show you even. I can even export this now. I'll just export you and show you how it will come in an AutoCAD file. I'm exporting it to a new AutoCAD file.
Today, I think at your end, there is a signal strength is little weak. Slightly wavering is more.
File out of it. Yeah, that is the flexibility what Dialux gives us. Why it is asking you to export a new file? Because we have not imported a AutoCAD file, we can export a new AutoCAD file. But we already have an AutoCAD file, we can export the same AutoCAD file into the existing AutoCAD file. So both can be done in from Dialux. Meanwhile, I'll just run you a small presentation also, how we give it to clients. Okay, this is the villa presentation, what we prepare for clients. Okay, so this is how, these are the luminaires, what we consider. Okay, different luminaires. This is how we represent then AutoCAD representation, in 2D representation of the different.
It's not visible, Raghuveer.
Not visible, sir. 1 second. Let me just share the screen. I think, is it visible now, sir? Yeah. Yeah, it is visible. So this is one of the presentation what we give it to the client. Basically, how
It's
these are the different kind of.
Raghuveer, it's not. Now it's fine. Now it's visible.
Now it's fine. Yeah. So this is the representation what we give it to the client. These are the different kind of luminaires. These are the specifications what we give it to them. Okay, representing all the color, temperature, color of the fixture, wattages, and all. This is how we represent it. This is how we give it. This is number planning the entire lighting of the house by representing this kind of images. Okay, wherever in which room we are using which fixture, we are clearly indicating down. Okay, and after that, this is the final output of the room. So at this extent level, we can design in Dialux. So this is an entire house. I'm showing the client before he enters the house. Before he enters the house, how is the lighting going to, he is going to experience. I'm showing to him. The in his room. Okay. So different rooms. See, I'm mentioning here the dining room, Lux chart view. Everything we given clear in detail. Okay, these are all different objects what we are creating and different IS files we are using. Okay, to represent the light fixtures.
But how do you sure that their bedroom is planned like that?
We get, for example, I'll just show you, sir. 1 second. We have an AutoCAD file here. For example, I'm just showing it now. Let me open you the AutoCAD file. I mean, how we receive the input from the client. Okay. Is my screen visible? Just a second, sir. Let me just finish this down, sir. So this is the view what they give us in a 2D part. Okay, whatever view you are seeing down, we get everything in a 2D AutoCAD drawing, and we develop the 2D AutoCAD drawing into a 3D structure.
And now the presentation is visible.
Okay, only presentation is good. Okay, sir. Yeah, let me run down the presentation, then I'll be go to this.
Okay.
So this is how we get the drawing, and we develop it in this format. This is a dialect exported image. What we are seeing, this is a dialect exported image. I'm sure I'm running down an entire villa presentation from here.
Right. Okay.
This is how we get the drawing of a villa. The villa, what I'm showing you now, is the drawing what the client given us. So in this, we have
The
the
drawing
ceiling
is
structures.
not visible.
Not
Just
visible.
now it's opening, I think. It's still not loaded.
Okay, I'm already on the drawing side.
Now it's fine. Now it's fine.
Okay, so this is how we get the drawings. This is the ground floor. This is the first floor. This is the second floor.
But only
So
I was wondering like what color beds and all. Color is not been mentioned, right?
The color is not being mentioned, sir. We, after getting the AutoCAD drawings, we sit with the client. We discuss about the texture structure, means what is the taste, what is their kind of feel, what they are actually looking into it. So after that, we take their inputs and we start doing the dialogues. So then only we get this kind of output. What exactly I'm showing you.
But nowadays, as 3D evolution has come, does your clients are not giving you in 3D?
Some of the clients, means when we are interacting with architects and interior designers, they give us those 3D drawings. Okay.
Right.
That will give us the more color representation. For example, this is the kitchen area. So this kind of texture, what the architect or interior designer gives us, we import the same texture so that lighting they can experience with the original lighting.
Okay.
What the 3D softwares like 3D Max and all cannot give us this kind of effects and the kind of exact luminous structure. Means they use the same downlight, they get this lighting effect or not. They cannot show it in 3D Max. They can show only object representation, but not the lighting representation. So next, coming to the exported file. We are talking about the exported file. Let me just take a view of the exported file.
Exported file means you mean the same dialects file, right?
No, sir. Now the dialects file exporting an AutoCAD file.
AutoCAD, okay.
Dialects is exporting an AutoCAD file. Actually, we need to even mention the version of AutoCAD what we are exporting. One second, I'll just show you because. Yeah. When I'm exporting, export a the new file. I have 25 of what I have to do basically. See, here it asks for an AutoCAD version. I'll take it for a lower AutoCAD version of 2007. Okay. Now, then when my export starts, then only my AutoCAD file. Because this cannot open. So that we need to take care.
Okay.
Now, Is it visible now?
Yeah, your AutoCAD is visible, but only I think it's loading. It's showing complete black.
Yeah, there's some internet issue
Yeah,
here.
now it's visible, right? 2D
Yeah, 2D. So complete 2D drawing with all the
objects.
objects into it. Means we have not imported any AutoCAD file, but we can export an AutoCAD file from the dialects completely. So here we have the light fixtures, okay, our chairs, objects, and the room structure with the window indications, door, and here we have AutoCAD by default gives the description, what fixture we have
Similar
used,
list also.
yeah, luminous list, what is the lux level, everything. So this will be a very clear representation to the client. Whenever we can go to a client, we can directly take this and go to the client and represent him. Yeah.
Can we get this in Excel sheet? The same, the luminaries list and all from Dialux?
Luminous list and all. Yeah, we can import, sir. We can even copy the same and paste it in an Excel sheet also.
Okay.
You can copy and paste it because this is an Excel format. We can
Right.
directly copy the sheet and we can from the AutoCAD and paste in the Excel. Yeah. That is also possible. So this is how means designing is one stage and representing the drawing is also another stage.
Correct.
So it has to be combined. Then only we call it as a successful design. Yeah. So any doubt you can ask.
Yeah, guys, any doubts you can ask.
Hello. Hello.
Shrikant, bolo.
Yes, sir. Actually, how do we select the luminaries, sir? Actually, we have required for a room 300 lux.
Okay.
So how we can select the luminaries, sir? 2 luminaries only.
2 luminaries only you want to select, right? Yeah.
No, sir. I want to 300 lux. So how much luminaries I want to select you?
Yeah. That is based on the wattage. Now we just look into this. Okay.
Yes,
My
sir.
wattage for each fixture is 34 watts. Okay. That is the
Okay.
reason I have taken only 2 luminance. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
If the wattage of the luminance change, okay, let's just even as per Srikanth, I'm just going into the project for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just look at the same project. Okay. If you want 300 lux into this room, then my wattage will change completely. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. If my wattage change, if the same fitting is around 15 watts, then the quantity of the fixtures will double.
Yes, sir.
Right. So based on
Yes,
the
sir.
kind of wattage only your lux levels are preferred. Okay. If
Okay.
you're taking
Yes,
more
sir.
wattage, less number of fixtures will come. If you take less fixtures, more wattage has to be taken. Okay.
Now you
So
just change it the lux here.
yeah, I just changed it now. We need to take a different luminaire here.
Luminary you keep the same.
Okay. Yeah, I just changed the wattage of the luminaire. Okay. Yeah, just a second. We can even change the wattage of the luminaire.
No, room lux you change. Keep the luminary same.
Yeah,
Only
luminaire will
lux.
remain the same, sir. But what I'll do is, if I change the wattage of the luminaire, only the lux of the luminaire will change.
No. Lux of the luminary, lumen of the luminary you keep the same. That means you are not disturbing the luminary.
I'm
Only I
not
am
disturbing the
telling
luminary.
in that space I want suppose 600 lux instead of 300.
Okay.
So change
Okay.
the lux only. So does automatically luminaries change or not? We can say.
No, luminaries will not change like that, sir. One second.
Okay.
Just say, sir, these are the luminaries. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
When these luminaries only will change, the lux of the room will change. Okay. Or the wattage of these luminaries will change, the lux of the room will change.
But can't we predefine that my lux is this much so that you accordingly change the
Yeah, we can do that, sir. We can do that. For example, see, if I require only 600 lux, then what I'll do is I'll change this. If I go directly here,
So can we change the luxes of manually, sir?
no, lux we cannot change manually because Dialex will give its lux levels based on the luminance.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Luminar wattage. What is the, see, for example, this luminaire is 34 watts and giving you 4000 lumens. Okay.
Okay. Yes,
so
sir.
I'll keep the luminaries same 34 watts only, but I'll change the luminance of this to 6000 lumens. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll change it to 6000 lumens. Okay. I'll just apply this. Okay, now the results will change. It will always show. Okay, I'll say yes. Now this is 6,000 lumens, right? Previously we got 34 foot candles. Okay. Now again
Yes,
I'll simulate the entire project. We need to again simulate the entire project to change the lux level of the room. Basically, we'll have every there is a predefined IES standards. Okay, IES
Yes.
standards of lux level for every room. Okay, so for
Okay,
example,
sir.
every room requires some lux standards. Based on those lux standards, we need to select the luminaire also. Okay, now we'll just check. So obviously it changed to 51 candles, foot candles. Previously it was 30. So we'll just check the AutoCAD one. Okay. See, it is 622 lux now. Average is 336, 364 lux. Okay. Same lumen output, 4,000 lumens. Okay. Now we'll just check the new this thing also. Okay. Now we'll just export the same in another AutoCAD file. Okay.
But luminary selection, I think it comes with the experience only, right? What kind of luminary is suitable for particular requirement, whether it is a pantry or whether it is a balcony.
Sir, I think it's a manually calculation part, sir.
No, no, not a calculation. Selecting the kind of luminary. We cannot keep a mercury vapor lamp in a room. That's
Yes.
what I'm just telling. The kind of luminary to use, it is only with the experience. Like 2x2 to use or
Yes, sir. Hello. I'm not getting it clearly.
I was just selecting the kind of luminary, whether it is a 2x2 or whether it is a mercury vapor kind. I mean, like whether it is a what halogen kind. So it depends on. It only comes with an experience, right?
Experience and the kind of the company, there are specific luminaires for each and every company provides us specific luminaires for specific areas, sir. Okay,
Okay.
so that once we come into real time experience, once we start doing a original project only, we can tell that clearly. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I've changed the lumens, right? This is 6,000 lumens. Okay, now
Yes,
see,
sir.
this is 933 lux, 546 is the average. Okay, previously it is 4,000 lumens, 622 lux, 364 is the average. So once
Yes.
this, by changing the lumen output, okay, the picture is same, wattage is same, okay, but lumen output has changed, the lux level got changed.
Okay.
I think Srikanth, is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you miss anything more, you're a bit confused, I can clarify it more.
No, sir. Actually, I got it, sir.
You got it? So
Yes, sir.
completely the lux level of a room depends on the lumen output and the wattage also. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Any more doubt?
Sir, it's a calculation, but means actually a client required a totally PDF calculation PDF, sir.
Okay. If the client requires a PDF calculation. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You're asking
So,
for if the client requires a PDF calculation, it doesn't have an AutoCAD drawing. Okay? How do we represent? Right?
yes, sir.
Here you're finding a documentation, right? We are having
Okay, sir.
documentation here.
Yes, sir.
We just go to the documentation. Yes, this one is documentation. Even Dialex will give you a clear PDF document also. Okay, that
Okay,
is
sir.
called as a design report. What we
Yes, sir.
generate. Okay, that
Design
is called as a
report.
design report. What we generate the client. Okay, see
Okay,
here
sir.
now this is the office project with the cover page, preliminary remarks, everything, the product data sheet, the
Yes,
building
yes.
structure, the room list, whatever you have every detail of the room. So this you can save it as a PDF and send it to the client directly. He can open it in his mobile.
Okay, sir.
So that is the format. So my system is
Where
a bit
was it
slow.
there? This documentation feature earlier also. I mean,
Yes,
like
sir.
since the
This
beginning.
feature was there earlier also, but they step by step, dialers when start got improving. Okay, this thing has been changed over a period of time. Means the documentation has been changed to different structures. So this is how the PDF output looks like. Okay. Here we have the complete 546 lux. Okay, minimum average lux. What is the current consumption, power consumption? Okay, how many lumen output? What is the lumen? 170 lumens per watt you're getting. Okay, complete fixed details as well as the power density, power consumption. So it's consuming around 120 to 190 kilowatts per hour. You know, that is all it's giving. Entire data is given. Okay, we can even import the 3D structures into the PDF also. Okay, we can even go to this. We can go for page configuration. We can configure this page. Okay, these are the different configuration options, and we can configure and get into this. We can change even the PDF also. Okay.
Even you can add your company logo and all.
Yeah, we can add here. Here we have the details who have done the project also. One second. Yeah. So this is the kind of documentation structure. Different documentation structures we have. Okay. Once you are designing it.
Will it be there in the cloud? I mean, like suppose you are working from Hyderabad, I am working on the same project from Mumbai. So can we collaborate and work on the same time?
No, sir. We cannot work it. Direct doesn't have that option of working two
Okay.
users at a time. Only single users. Yeah. But we can share the dialects file from one user to other user also.
Right.
Same dialects file we can do it. Preferably, one small condition for dialects is that whenever we are sending a dialects file from one system to another system, the AutoCAD and the dialects should be in the same folder.
Okay.
So that the dialects will retain its own AutoCAD like that. If the both are separated, if you are exporting only the dialects file, keeping the AutoCAD file with you, then after we when we open the dialects file in other system, the dialects file what is imported in this system will not be present.
Okay.
That is a small drawback what dialects has, where the dialects and the AutoCAD always should be in a single folder together. Many of them, this all comes under only a real-time experience when you are doing it, not all the time. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
We can even give here the description of whoever is doing the project. Okay, what all project requires, what is the company we are suggesting. All details can be provided in this. This is how. And next, what we do is we can just simply save it as a document. See, so generating a 16-page document.
Guys, any doubts? Sai Meghana?
No, sir.
Good, I think, thank you, Raghuveer.
Yeah, right.
Thank you
no,
very
guys,
much.
if you have any more doubts also, you can take my number from Sridhar sir. Okay, so please provide my number details to them. They can call me anytime. Okay, they can even share their experiences. You know, if they have any doubts when they are stuck at any project also, I can help them down. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure, anytime.
Thank you, Raghuveer. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.